Hey, what's going on? It's Bill Burr. It's time for the Thursday afternoon, just before Friday, Monday morning podcast. And I'm just checking in on you. Just seeing how your week's going, how things are shaking out. Jesus Christ, if I get one more fucking tweet going, Bill, what do you think of the Kyrie Irving for fucking Isaiah Thomas trade? What do I think? I think Danny Ainge has known what the fuck he's doing up until now. I think it's the trickle-down effect of the Kevin Durant trade where you, for some reason, can just not have enough fucking stars regardless of what your players are doing. Do you think they gave up too much? Only time will tell. Only time will tell. I would say that I loved Isaiah Thomas, and what sucks about that trade was he was on his way to being like the fucking Big Papi of the Celtics. Like he was going to have a friggin' street named after him the way he was going. So it's a real shame. And he was just a great dude, and I don't know. I just thought he fit in real well with our city. You know, he was on his way to being a great Celtic, I thought. And we gave a bunch of fucking people to get another guy who basically does the exact same thing, has the same amount of stuff. I don't know. He's a little bit bigger. I don't know. Who the fuck knows? All I know is the team that Isaiah succeeded with last year no longer exists here. So, you know, I don't know what I don't fucking know. I hate all of this shit. They gave up a first rounder, a fucking some guy from Croatia who had a rough time in the summer league. Like, how the fuck you get into the NBA to that level? Or any sport, you need to get a fucking life. When you start knowing what people fucking make and all of that shit, like that's where I tap out. It's just like, oh, we traded that guy for that guy. All right, we'll see what happens. When does the season start? In a couple of months? Yeah, I'll fucking think about it then. Either it's going to work or it's not going to work. There was a couple Celtics fans that were fucking so stupid. They burned their Isaiah Thomas jerseys. Like he left the Celtics, like he was doing some sort of free agent fuck. He got traded, you dumb fucks. Then, of course, everybody on Twitter tweets it to me and acts like this is every Celtics fan. And it isn't. It isn't. There's always these fucking morons, which is why I have been saying, you know, I'm telling you right now, this fucking Mayweather-McGregor fight, if you ever wanted to solve the population problem, the amount of mouth breathers that are showing up, okay? You send a fucking signal through the fucking bot. Whoever orders the fight, that's it. You're done. Something happens. You know when they used to play, you know, those old spy movies where they would play that really high-pitched fucking noise and people would just grab their ears like, yeah, and then they would die? Yeah, do some Star Trek shit. That's going to go down as one of the biggest fucking ripoffs of all fucking time, Mayweather-McGregor. That's my prediction. And if it doesn't, I'll just say I was wrong, and then I'll order the fight. But there is no fucking way I'm going to sit there on Saturday night and watch a guy who used to fucking box 15, 20 fucking years ago fight a guy who fucking retired 2 years ago who's in his 40s, and everybody's acting like, oh, is this going to be his first fucking loss? The guy's in his 40s. He's been retired for 2 years. You remember when Jordan came back on the fucking Wizards? Taking 2-3 fucking years off. You know, that was basketball. Forget about boxing. This is like the dumbest thing ever. You know what it really is? It's a bunch of fucking losers that want, you know, that aren't happy with their own lives, that want to see a guy that's been shooting his mouth off, saying his life is fucking great. And they want to see him get knocked on his ass. And I'm so sick of people going, it's a spectacle. It's a spectacle. I'm tuning in for this spectacle. Why are you using that word spectacle, you fucking moron? Because everybody in sports has been saying this. So the amount of fucking mouth-breathing dopes that I've known, you know, and I'm one of them, I've never heard them use the expression spectacle in my life. Now it's like, yeah, I'm watching it for the spectacle. It's a spectacle of sport. What does that mean exactly? A spectacle. You mean, is that like a fancy word for it's a fucking ripoff? These are the same people that would have paid fucking $60, the equivalent of $60 30 fucking years ago, 40 years ago to watch Lyle Alzado fight fucking Muhammad Ali, which actually happened if you never looked it up. All right, spectacle. Let's look up the definition of spectacle. Spectacle, number one, something to stare at. Number two, a pay-per-view ripoff. No. A visually striking performance or display. An event or scene regarded in terms of its visual impact. I don't know. I don't know what's going on with sports right now, or that fucking league where they just take three people who used to be superstars and play three other people that used to be superstars. And what do you get out of watching that half court of basketball? Confirmation that, yes, we are all going to die a slow death. I'm sorry. I'm really just being a Scrooge. Enjoy your fucking fight. I will not be watching it. I'm going to get out on the highway and drive like 80 miles an hour out here in L.A., and enjoy this city at the population that should be during that fucking fight. There's so many more constructive things that I can fucking do. And this, you know what it is they're just doing this clearly for the fucking money. And that's it. So, in a way, I'm actually happy for them because they're both getting their brains knocked out in every fucking fight, and God knows what their quality of life will be in their 50s. So good for them. Go out and get your fucking money. But I've given Mayweather at least, I don't know, his last 7 fights times 60, $420 that he should return at least a portion of it. He hasn't knocked anybody out since that, was it Ricky Hatton? He fights fucking Pacquiao 10 years after he should have. The guy shows up with the fucking injured shoulder. His singing voice is gone, and he just fucking, it's just, I don't know. All right, I've said my piece. You guys enjoy the fucking fight, and you text me your oh shits and whatnot afterwards. Verzi was saying that. Bill, it's a spectacle. It's a spectacle. It's like, dude, I've known you for 10 years. You've never said that word. Like they're above it. I'm just watching it. I know it's bullshit. I know. It's like, no, dude, you can't look away. That's what your fucking problem is. People who are getting it just because, it's going to be so fucking ridiculous are the same fucking cunts in front of you causing a traffic jam because somebody's changing their tire on the side of the fucking road because they can't look away. And they were right behind all those other cunts screaming at them going, go, 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 drive. And then the second they come up to it, they're sitting there fucking rubbernecking. Right there, I'm telling you. You know what the human population is like? The human population is like a fucking... You know those fucking movies that Hollywood always makes, where the white person goes into like the fucking inner city and then goes in and turns everybody's fucking life around and everybody becomes successful in all of those. Nobody fucks it up, right? That's what the world population is like. It's like that teacher is running shit, Can't make the cuts that he needs to make to get down to the fucking real NFL roster. Does that make any fucking sense? I'm just saying that's just too big a heart. I hate those fucking movies, by the way. Where the white person goes into the area where there's no white people and then saves shit, and they never address the fact that white people caused the situation. And then we turn ourselves into the hero. So then white people can go see the movie and be like, yeah, that's the white person I'd be in that scenario. Well, buddy, you could go fucking do it. There's plenty of schools that need a fucking hero white guy to go down to try to help out. You know what it is right now? I'm fucking on a rant right now just because I fucking, Neil loves those goddamn award shows. And all of these fucking liberal cunts that go up on there and they talk about dolphins, and they blah, 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 and they use their celebrity to shine a light on it before they go back to their fucking gated community. It's like, why don't you get your hands dirty? Get your hands dirty or shut the fuck up in your fucking Louis Vuitton tuxedo, whatever the hell it is you're doing. Why am I in such a mood? You know what it is? I didn't sleep well last night, and these fucking, I don't know why, this army of bugs bit the shit out of my left ankle. And it's on fire. I don't know if it was a spider. I don't know what the hell it was, but my whole fucking foot turned red. And it's something back in the day before I had a kid, my wife would help me out with. But now we have a kid, so, I've gone down on the depth chart. So I'm like, look at my fucking foot. She's like, Jesus Christ. I go, do we have anything for that? She's like, yeah, I think we do. That's it. I'm like, do you know what it is? Some aloe fucking mousse. You put some mousse on it? I don't know. So I've been dealing with. She claims that, as, the doctor that she isn't, claims that it's getting better. I don't know. All I know is, I'm talking to you guys with a really fucking itchy foot. So maybe that's what it is. Oh, man, that's going to be fucking exciting. I'm going to actually get to experience what people experience who don't give a shit about sports on the Super Bowl. You get to fucking cruise around the city, get a bunch of errands done, Ride a bicycle right down the middle of the street. Yeah, this is a bad podcast, everybody. If you're not really aware of it at this point, I started off negative and I went even more negative. Is anybody else sick of that fucking guy and the Lakers' dad already? Jesus Christ, it's like he made it to the NBA. You're going to get your money, all right? Enough with the fucking carnival barking. I would make Michael Jordan cry if I played him one-on-one. Was that the weirdest interview? I just saw a clip of it, and Jimmy Kimmel is literally talking over the guy who's actually going to go into the NBA to talk to the guy who never made it to the NBA, who's sitting there talking about how he's going to beat Michael Jordan. And the other guy's sitting there like a scolded child. That looked like a fucking parents-teacher meeting. Tell me that isn't a 30 for 30 when he goes to finally make his break from his overbearing father. All right, there's another negative thing. All right, where else can we go with negativity? You got anything positive to say? Yes, I finally have committed to not drinking. After false advertising of Billy No Fun months ago, I can only go 3-4 days. I have now put together a run of 7 days. I've come back up from AAA. I'm on a little bit of a hitting streak right now, and I've gone 7 days, and I love it in the morning. Not drinking in the morning is the greatest. At night, it's been a little bit of a, it's a fucking habit I have to break. But I think, once I get up to like 7 to 10 days, then I could literally go for a year. It's weird. It's just getting to that. Starting to drop some weight. I've been jumping on the ellipticals. I've been fucking working out. My rotator cuff feels a little bit better. And what I do at night is I go play drums, and then I go do a stand-up set. Did a couple sets last night, played some fucking drums. And what's weird about playing drums or an instrument is the more you learn, the more you realize you suck. And it's just really frustrating. It's almost like you just learn everything you're going to learn, stop learning, get all that shit down. Considering I'm never going to play in a band, I'm not going to pursue this professionally, then I could actually sit behind a kit and be like happy with what I'm fucking doing. I have learned how to tune up a snare. I can get it sound really good, but my bass drum sounds like shit. There's always something. There's always fucking something. Let's read some advertising here. Maybe if I read advertising, this will get me out of this negative vortex that I've fucking gone into. Jesus, 13 and a half minutes. Just negative. You know what's funny is what I should really be doing. I should really be rooting for this McGregor-Mayweather fight to be a great thing, because then I can rent it and I'll get to watch something interesting. But I so want to be right about this. You're not going to get me, right? I'm the guy walking, driving by who wants to look, but I'm not going to look to prove some sort of point that nobody in front of me, behind me, or next to me is going to give a shit about. That's basically what I'm doing with this. Anyways, prediction on the fight. Yes, I'm going to say McGregor's not going to, I don't know. It's 2 years ago. If he's anything like he used to be, McGregor's not going to be able to lay a fucking hand on him. Why anybody would think that McGregor could lay a fucking glove on Mayweather is fucking beyond me. Unless he got really old in the last 2 years, unless it's Jordan from the Bulls to the Wizards. If it's that type of a leap, yes, McGregor has a fucking shot. But then who gives a shit? He beats up a fucking guy, 2 years after he retired. Imagine not going to the gym for 2 years, okay, and then fucking racing somebody down the street for a fucking mile. All right, MeUndies. Oh, ba-doop-doop-doop. MeUndies. Old Bill is a negative cunt. Ba-doop-doop-doop. MeUndies. Shut him up if you want. Sorry. You too can look good in your underwear and be comfortable, right? No, you want to look good in your underwear and be comfortable, right? But that perfect balance is hard to find. Don't sacrifice style or comfort. Check out MeUndies.com and find the best pair of underwear in the world. Talk about MeUndies and why it's the best underwear you will ever own. Well, first of all, they sent it to me for free. Second of all, it's fucking cottony soft, but 3 times more so. You know, and late at night when my wife goes to bed, my daughter's sleeping and everybody's quiet, my balls talk to me and they say, thank you, Bill. Thank you for getting MeUndies. MeUndies will be the most comfortable pair of underwear you will ever own, made from a sustainably sourced natural soft fabric that is 3 times softer than cotton. For the fellas, MeUndies diamond seamed pouch cradles your jewels like a rhinestone ball bag and gives you your stuff. It gives your stuff the support it needs without feeling too tight. Ladies will love the soft, eco-friendly fabric for their twats there. So soft and touchable. Gross. 100% satisfaction guarantee. They guarantee you will love your undies or your money back. For whatever reason, there's still another 3 paragraphs here. Aren't you guys sold at this point? And MeUndies is so sure you will love their underwear, they will even offer a 100% satisfaction guarantee. You order a pair, and if you don't like your first pair, get a full refund and fucking throw it out the window at a homeless guy. Not the money, the underwear. You keep the money. All right, this is a no-brainer to try. 20% off, free undies, and 100% satisfaction guarantee. What are you waiting for? To get you 20% off and free shipping, 100% satisfaction guarantee, and to get the best, softest underwear you'll ever own, go to MeUndies.com/Burr. This limited time offer. This is a limited time offer, so what are you waiting for? Start wearing the best underwear of your life. It changed my life, evidently. Yeah, it did, because I got to sing this song, and I got more advertising from it. It's time to let MeUndies change yours. Go to MeUndies.com/Burr right now. Oh, we only have 2 reads. Oh, my God, I love it. LegalZoom, everybody. It's National Make-A-Will Month at LegalZoom. And that means it's time to take control of your family and assets. Preparing your family's future is the most important thing you'll do this summer. It's the most fucking important thing you could ever do. All right? All the time. People die in car accidents. They drop a heart attack. A fucking piano falls in their goddamn head. All these young guys. Their wife fucking nags them to death to an early fucking grave. And they do not have a will or a trust or any of that shit. And then all the fucking evil people show up and start claiming that they were your best friend, and they try to take all your shit and their money away from your kids. You have to fucking do it. It's something that guys don't like to do, dealing with their own mortality, which is probably why I'm not going to watch Mayweather come in. The fact that I could actually watch a guy who does not box for a fucking living possibly beat the best boxer of all time, all that's going to mean is that, yeah, Bill, everybody dies. I don't need to watch that. I don't need to watch the big 3. The big 3 coming out there in their fucking walkers playing each other and nobody can dunk anymore. I'm sure somebody can dunk. They're fucking 9 feet tall, but I'm just saying. All right? Men do not like to deal with that shit. All right? But you got a family. You got a family, man. You got to fucking deal with this stuff. All right? So go to LegalZoom.com/Burr. Prepare to get your free kit. You'll get a ton of helpful information plus LegalZoom discounts. All the things you need. To stop procrastinating and start preparing for your family's future, LegalZoom designed the kit to provide the tools you need all in one place. Whether a will or a trust is right for you. What the fuck's wrong with my voice? I'm not drinking. I'm not smoking. You'll get special LegalZoom discounts, plus an estate plan checklist, an ebook, and other information to help you decide out of the fucking blue. And if you have any more questions, you can always get advice from their network of attorneys available in all 50 states, since LegalZoom's not a law firm. Listen, guys, I did all of this shit, okay? And I didn't want to do it because I didn't want to deal with me dying and all of this shit. What do you want to do when you died? You want to be cremated, put in the ground, and all this shit? I got to tell you, when I was done with it, it was like a weight was off my shoulders, in my chest, because every time I'd get on a flight, I'd always think, if this fucking thing goes down right now, what's going to happen to my wife and kid? You know what I mean? Go to LegalZoom.com/prepare today. There's no obligation, just great resources to help you protect everything you care about during National Make-A-Will Month. That's LegalZoom.com/prepare. All right. Now it's time to talk about my real feelings about the Mayweather-McGregor fight. I am curious. I do want to watch. But I've just been burned too many fucking times. So what I'm doing is I'm letting you guys take the beach. All right? And if you tweet at me, oh my God, that was fucking amazing. Well, now you're not. Now you're just going to lie to me. I'll go on the internet. And if everybody said that was amazing and it was worth the fucking money, I will then rent the fight. That's what I'm doing from now on because I've just been burned too many fucking times. I think it will be devastating for boxing if Mayweather loses, even though he's been retired for 2 fucking years. Basically, it's all about the first couple of rounds. If McGregor's going to do it. If he doesn't do it within fucking 3 rounds, he's fucked. That's it. Okay, there's my brilliant insight. I know what everybody else knows. I've watched too many of McGregor's fights, and when he fought Nate Diaz, he'd get into the 4th round and he would be winded. So they fight 5-minute rounds. So I don't know. I think even though they only fight what? How many rounds? How many minutes? Or is a 3-minute rounds, right? So logically, you'd be like, well, 5 minutes in, then that's the equivalent to going 5 rounds. I mean, 3 rounds, 5-minute rounds in the fucking UFC. Jesus Christ, Bill. But here's the thing. He's going to be using different muscles. You know? He's going to waste a lot of fucking energy trying to hit somebody that nobody could fucking hit. And I don't know. I don't know what it is, but they're both brilliant fucking fighters. They're both amazing, and they're also, they're as good at selling a fight, which is why everybody's showing up and all of that shit, because 2 big shit talkers, there's nothing people like better than seeing a shit talker lose, and one of them's going to lose, so I guess that's why everybody's going to watch, but I cannot fucking resist the euphoria of not doing what everybody else is doing and getting to do other shit. It's something I learned when I would watch the Super Bowl and I would just tape the fucking thing and just do other shit for the first 90 minutes of the game so I can fast forward through all of the commercials and the absolutely fucking horrific halftime show and the opening ceremonies and all of that other bullshit. I can just watch the goddamn game. I remember when I would drive around, I'd go, get something to eat or some shit, and there'd just be nobody on the fucking road. And you just get to experience what your city was like back before there were automobiles. Except you're in a car and there's paved roads. I don't know. There's sort of a... I kind of understand a little bit like why people don't watch sports. I actually get it now. Like the amount of free time. And but the thing is you got to fill that free time up with like some healthy shit. Oh, this is like a nice yin and yang. Total negative. Now I'm going to go positive. Just imagine. First of all, the food you wouldn't eat. All right? All the extra time you'd have to work out. If you always wanted to learn how to play guitar, learn how to speak a language, the amount of time you spend. I can't say wasting your time because you enjoy it. I fucking enjoy it, right, if you're a sports fan. But just think of everything that you could accomplish. Remember, like, one of the first times the NFL went on strike in my life. And when it would come back, they showed a couple people on the news. Now, I don't know if they were lying or whatever. They were just like, yeah, man, it was kind of cool to have, like, Saturday and Sunday in the fall to myself. I can hang out with my kids. I can go do some shit. I just don't give a fuck anymore. I don't know. There's this weird part of me. I can't stop watching it. Then there's this part of me that I wish I could do it. But then you just fill it up with something else dumb. Then I become one of those, Comic-Con people that knows the actor's name that crouched down in that R2-D2 fucking thing. That little fucking trash compactor that he was riding around in. I don't know. You know what? All of this shit, it's bigger than me. I have no idea what any of this fucking shit means. Enjoy your goddamn fight. Don't listen to a crabby, freckled, bald cunt like me telling you that's a fucking ripoff. You go enjoy your goddamn spectacle. Yeah, you deserve it. It's a spectacle. Donald Trump isn't enough of a fucking spectacle. That's not enough for you? Jesus Christ. Do you know, that's something like, I pay attention to that. I don't pay attention to that the way somebody who doesn't give a fuck about sports pays attention to it. The fact that our president tweets and reads his Twitter account is just, I don't even know, like, it's like, dude, you're above that. You're above it. Fucking respond. You know how many people shit on me? I feel I don't even need to respond to people shitting on me. First of all, I feel it's par for the course. Not everybody's going to like you. The fact that this fucking guy's got to go on and respond, it's like, what are you doing? But then again, he did win it. He won the whole fucking thing. I love people who think he's dumb. It's like, if he's that fucking stupid, how did all those smart people lose to him? That was like back in the day when that woman, Jessica Simpson, when she would be like, chicken of the sea, is that like chicken or is it tuna? Which, to be honest, looking back, was a legit question. I mean, it is a food, and you wrote chicken on it. That's like chicken fried steak. For years, I was like, is it chicken, is it steak? What the fuck is it? Hey, take a ride in my truck car. What the fuck is it? Why would you call it something else when it says over here? Everybody thought she was dumb. It's like, yeah, she's a fucking moron with hit albums and her own TV shows. Like, I would love to be that stupid. You know, she married Nick Lachey. He's a good-looking fella. Right? Guys in a boy band. He plays golf on the fucking weekends. She was crushing it. Dating Tony Romo. Did she marry him? I don't know. I felt bad for her one day. Like, I think it was her little dog, you know, like last seen in the mouth of a coyote. It's like, yeah, it's fucking dead. What do you think? The coyotes have like some sort of terrorist group and they're going to fucking, you know, abduct your dog and change its fucking mindset. It's going to be like the Patty Hearst of fucking Chihuahuas. No, it's dead. That's why you got to get a big dog out here. You got to have a big dog that, like, the other coyotes are like, you know what? It's not fucking worth it. You know what I mean? Like, for dogs out here, this is like going to fucking Rikers Island. All right? Well, you need to be a big fucking muscular goddamn dog. You need to be more of a fucking problem than these little fellas out here. These little dogs, like, I don't know what people do. Like, they fucking leave them in their backyards and shit, and they're gone. They're gone. It's like literally like one of those creepy fucking movies, you know, where they would, you know, the people would go to an island and they were just living with some sort of dragon or some sort of gorilla, and they would just sacrifice somebody like King Kong and that type of shit, so this fucking thing would leave them alone. That's such a weird beginning, huh? To the King Kong movie, that poor woman's like tied up with those fucking vines. And I just don't get, like, okay, you got a 60-foot goddamn gorilla. He's going to eat that fucking one person and then be like filled up. That's going to be like Doritos, right? Well, not Doritos, because we're mostly fucking, you know, protein and shit. We're kind of a protein snack, aren't we? Right? So that's like him having like a Cliff Bar. A goddamn 60-foot gorilla is going to eat one Cliff Bar every couple of months and then be fine. First of all, I didn't think gorillas, I thought they were vegetarians, right? I thought they sat around just fucking eating, I don't know what the hell they eat. There's always some fucking person got to go try and live with them and get a little closer and a little closer. And then eventually get this shit kicked out of them by the goddamn gorilla. I got to tell you, man, the amount of shit that a gorilla will put up with, and because it's as big as it is, I wonder if a gorilla has ever fought like a tiger. And for that, we need to go to Asia. You know, you want to talk about spectacles, where you have a boxer against an MMA guy? Like, Asians, I'm telling you, if you want to go see, anytime you start looking at like this versus this versus that, you will find black and white footage where they put a fucking bear and a tiger in the same cage to see what, or a lion against a tiger just to see what the fuck would happen. They did it. That's their thing. Where we experimented with human beings, they experimented with animals, it seems. I don't fuck. What am I even talking about? You know, this is one of these podcasts where it just started off on the wrong foot, and now I'm just desperately trying to fill the last 18 seconds of this thing so I can get up to fucking My contractually obligated 30 minutes. How about those Red Sox, huh? Taking 2 out of 3 out of Terry Francona's fucking team there, the Cleveland Indians. Piling up the fucking numbers there. I haven't been keeping up on what the Yankees are doing. So why don't I try to end this thing on something positive? You guys enjoy your fight, your sports spectacle this weekend. I hope you don't get fucked over. And I'm being honest. You know something? I'm going to be a bigger man here rather than being the guy that said, I told you so. I hope on Monday you guys can all come back and I can read a bunch of fucking letters of like, Bill, you negative cunt. You've never been more wrong in your freckled, pathetic life. And I really hope that you guys are able to send those to me. I hope you get your money's worth. Like I said, I will not be watching the fucking thing. I'm too goddamn stubborn. All right. You know something? This is actually, for me, this pay-per-view is about being able to walk away. Because I have jumped on the fucking, the UFC's done that to me. UFC, I've ordered the fucking shit and then find out somebody tested positive for steroids. The UFC's also doing that shit now that they got bought out by other fucking people. And Dana White's like the figurehead now, or how the fuck it works. They're doing that shit now where like every 3 pounds is a new weight class. So now they have all these air quote champions. So then everything's a fucking championship fight. That's like what fucking killed boxing. Aside from the fact that they had like 50 different goddamn leagues or whatever. The WBA, the WBC, the IBF. There was like 3 heavyweight champions all at the same time. And then somebody had to try to come in and unify the titles. And then every 8 pounds became like a fucking weight class or whatever. All I know is everything was like a title fight and they weren't as good. So I hope the UFC doesn't go that route because what was great when they had the monopoly was the best fought the best. So I hope that continues. I apologize for this podcast, everybody. I don't know why I'm shitting on everything that's just fun, simple goddamn fun in this miserable world. Why would I do that? All right, come on, Bill. Pull it out of the mud. This fight is going to be the greatest spectacle of all time. If you do not put $60 down on that, you are going to miss out. Right? There you go. That was positive. What do you want from me? I tried. I got an itchy foot and my fucking body is like reacting to the fact, You know what else is, a couple of my friends became parents, right? So what I always do, my gift that I do is I go out and I buy a nice, cute, cool pair of fucking sneakers, right? Little Jordans, little Uptowns, whatever the fuck you want, right? That's what I get for the kid, okay? And then I get 2 sick bottles of fucking booze for the parents, Because here's the deal. I think I already told you this, everybody's going to go out and go buy a stuffed fucking animal. This fucking thing. And it's just going to be this thing that the parents, the kid can't fucking use it. It's a baby. It's a goddamn blob that you carry around for fucking 3 months. All right? And then when it finally can move around, it doesn't give a shit about toys. All right? It likes extension cords. It likes pots and pans. It likes just any fucking thing that it shouldn't be touching. That's what it wants. And it could give a fuck about the goddamn toys. Buying a toy for a baby is it's a bigger waste of money than buying this Conor McGregor Mayweather fight this weekend. I just can't get out of it, people. I feel like the libertarian this weekend, who's actually addressing the problem. Where the Democrat and the Republican would back one of the 2 candidates and act like it's going to change your life and that this was going to be a good thing for you. And I'm the fucking Green Party guy going, hey, man, these bankers are fucking you over, man. Everybody's bought and paid for, man. You want a Brussels sprout and avocado sandwich, man? But the parents, everybody immediately, now that you have a kid, like you go down on the depth chart, nobody gives a shit about you. Everybody cares about the kid, right? Which is great. That's the way it should be. But if you actually do something for the parents, okay, and actually acknowledge that they are individuals with hopes and dreams, that have now been dashed because all of their focus is now going on the baby, which is the way it should be. But every once in a while, you got to throw them a fucking little ginger snap there, right? So that's what I do. I go out, I buy a sick-ass bottle of booze and a nice bottle for the guy and a fucking nice bottle of rosé for the lady, and then I just get the kid a pair of shoes, sneakers, cool sneakers for when the kid's walking, and they can actually use those things, you know, as opposed to some stupid fucking thing, you know, that they're supposed to reach up and grab, whatever the fuck it is. That's what I do. Okay, there you go. Anyways, I got like the hiccups, my foot itches, and I'm off the sauce. And I'm going back to Boston this week, and I'm staying off the sauce. I've been working out, and I'm staying off the fucking sauce. I already had the conversations in my head. I'm not fucking doing it. I'm going to go on a nice run here. I am committed to it. I'm dropping some fucking pounds. So that's it. Enjoy your guys' fight this weekend. I hope you get your money's worth. I've said that 50 times, trying to make up for the fucking previous negative 30 minutes. That's the podcast for this Thursday afternoon. Have a great weekend, you cunts. Enjoy this music. And then we got a throwback podcast from a Thursday. I don't know, from Girlfriend in Fantasy League. Hey, Bill, love the podcast, but thank you. I've been in a fantasy football league for 10 years. It was started by one of my best friends and has been the same 12 guys for a decade. I don't even know bands that have been together that long. So this year, my buddy who started the league decided to boot out 2 lifelong members in favor of his girlfriend and the girlfriend of a friend of ours. Wait a minute. Did those other 2 guys who got booted, did they do anything? I mean, if he was going to add the ladies, why did those other 2 guys have to leave? Wow. All right. Okay. Well, I'm sucked into this story. He said, I immediately called bullshit and said point blank to his face, if she wasn't sucking your dick, then she wouldn't be in the league. Oh, dude. That right there is a game changer. You can't say it. What if he marries this woman? There's a rule for you guys. Always be careful what you say about the woman your guy is with, because you never fucking know. You never know. And I'm sure there's some listeners that have stories, and if you'd like to contribute them to the podcast, where, you know what's even fucking worse? Is when your buddy, he says fucked up shit about the girl. You know, about what a whore she is in bed and she's fucking his brains out, blah, 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 and tells you all these details. And then the jackass ends up falling for her, and then he has to fucking break up with you because he's not going to break up with her because every time he looks at you, he thinks, oh,
he knows how this girl, my future wife, sucks my dick, Anyways, plowing ahead. He's trying to defend his decision by saying she at least knows a little about sports. Dude, this is awful. This guy wasn't raised right, man. This is fucking terrible. He said the fact of the matter is that she is from New York and knows who the Jets are. That's the extent of her football knowledge. He thinks I'm overreacting. You're not overreacting. He didn't ask anybody else. You've had 12 for the last 10 years, and he just removed 2 of the original band members. Dude, this isn't even funny. This is really upsetting to me. He thinks I'm overreacting, but I think of it the same scenario if you have one night a year to have a guy's night with your buddies, and then you get to the bar, you see that your friend has invited his girlfriend to guy's night. Exactly. He even told me that she's the one who asked if she could join, which obviously to me means he had no intentions of inviting her, but when he was backed into the corner, his balls shot up into his throat, and he couldn't say no. Exactly. It's not just a fantasy league, but a clear indication that she's going to slowly start chipping away at everything else in the rest of his life. Exactly. In summation, his girlfriend wanted in, and he crumbled and said yes. Am I reading too much into this? Am I overreacting? I'd like to know because he's getting pissed at me for being pissed at him. Absolutely not, sir. Everything that I was going to tell you, you already know, and you wrote in this email. Okay? You ran down the mats. You went off the little fucking springy board. You hit the fucking hobby horse. You did your little fucking Mary Lou Retton flip, and you stuck the landing. You get a perfect 10 on that one, sir. You are 100% right. You know what? You know what my move would be? I would start my own fantasy league. All right? And I would invite everybody else in that fucking league. Well, I wouldn't do that because that's a chick move. Make people decide. This is what I wouldn't be as harsh with him and just be like, no, dude, what you did was absolute bullshit. And I guarantee you, I would tell him it. She's going to start chipping away with you, at your life. Your balls are up in your throat. But that's going to end your friendship with him. But here's the deal, dude. There are other fantasy football leagues to join. All right? And that's one of those ugly things about that chapter of guys' lives after college. When you went to grade school together or you met them in guys in college or whatever, but you guys have this unbelievable bond, like you went to fucking war together. If one of your friends is a pussy, he has a chance of meeting somebody who's going to splinter the group. And this isn't an anti-woman thing. This is more like an anti-pussy guy kind of thing where, there are controlling, suffocating people on both sides, men and women. And I know that there's women listening and one of their best girlfriends started dating some fucking overbearing, insecure douchebag guy. And the first thing they do is they cut him off from their friends. And then it's the coworkers, then the friends, and then their family. And they stick them under a fucking little glass or something. So, yeah, you know what, dude? The sad thing is you're going to lose a couple of friends. Sometimes that happens, and you just have to be content about it. And and I think it's really important for men and women to have men-only and women-only social events that they can go to once a week or a couple times a month. And just hang out with the fellas or hang out with the ladies and just whatever. I think it's really, really healthy. It gives you something to look forward to. It gives you a place where you can just vent about anything you fucking want in a group of people that 100% is going to understand, and you don't have to worry about hurting anybody's feelings or offending on anybody. I think it's really, really fucking healthy. And this guy's fucking with that. And he didn't put it to a vote. What is he, the grand poobah of this shit? I don't know. There's so many ways you can go with that, depending on how much you want to stir up the pot. You guys should put it to the vote. This would be great. Put it to a vote. Dude, have this be like your Arab Spring, but with a fantasy football league, and just vote that cunt out. And then you become the dictator and you move into the palace. How about that? Whatever, dude. You're 100% right. I would choose my words a little more carefully. Don't say that he didn't have the balls. Just say, listen, this was something that we did together for 12 years. And I'm really disappointed and shocked that you made this big a move and removed 2 other members and didn't include anybody else in it. I don't think that it was done right. And I think we should put this to a vote. That's what we should do. And if he gets mad and he starts yelling, don't lose your cool. Just keep stating your opinion calmly. And, if he's going to be a bitch about it, let him be a bitch about it. And I would actually, for your own health... Dude, only thing she knows is the jet. She's going to be like, wait a minute, who's that? Oh, my God, I don't know anything. She's going to try to do that. You know that thing where women try to act like they're dumb because they think it's cute? You know what I would do, sir? I would just cut your losses. Just fucking... I don't know. The more I think about it...
Hey, what's going on? It's Bill Burr, and this is the Monday Morning Podcast for Monday, August 24th, 2009. How the hell are you? Another week going by. I got a big week coming up here. Really excited. I'm actually going to Sweden this week, and I really wanted to read a lot about Sweden. I wanted to know a couple of the phrases, the ones that you need to know. Something about where can I get something to eat, how to say thank you, and how to say, dude, do me a favor, why don't you get the fuck away from me, Because you're kind of freaking me out. I mean, you need to know, you need to know how to say that in every language, and that's the one that you really need to memorize, okay? So you can say it with some feeling, you know what I mean? You can't be like, dude, get the fuck me away. You just gotta come right, dude, get the fuck away from me. I'm serious. I'm not kidding. Get the fuck away from me. You have to know how to say that. And I have no idea. I'm not gonna lie to you. All I know about Sweden is that fucking puppet on the Muppet Show. Remember that one? Borgy, 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 de Borg. Horgy, de Schmorgy, de Borg, 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 Borg. Here we have the Heedy Schmeedy. Remember that? That's all I know. Is Sweden the one where they cross-country ski to school? I know Hitler used to look at it across from the waters, start jerking off, wishing he was blonde and blue-eyed. The fucking poor bastard. Not only was he not blonde and blue-eyed, he couldn't even get a chick. His girlfriend wasn't even blonde and blue-eyed. You know what I mean? I'm going to put this out here. Like, I know there's been a ton of shit out there on Hitler. I'm going to put this out here. This is a theory that I have. I think Hitler had no game with women. Women don't like angry guys. Psychos do. Psychos like angry guys, I was actually talking to this broad last night, and she was saying how, I don't know what the fuck her boyfriend does, but she was saying up until this point, like the guy she's dating now, this is the first time she's not dated someone who's a musician. And she was just, I just always like musicians, the passion they have on stage, and they're crazy. And I was really sitting there listening to her. She described dating a musician. I realized that for a female, that's the female equivalent of dating a stripper, is if you date a musician. It's the same fucking thing, They're on stage, they're sweaty, they're on drugs, they're bad with money, and in the end, you have to take care of them. You got to end up being a fucking parent. Wow, that really fucking came together, didn't it? Jesus Christ, that's not bad. It's not bad. Right, Cleo? Look at her. Jesus Christ. Anyways, let's plow ahead here. We got a lot of shit. So anyways, I had this great week. I did this benefit. How funny is this? Because if you guys listened to my podcast last week, I had that incident with that woman from the Humane Society, right? So this week, talk about irony. I actually had a gig where I was doing a benefit for rescue dogs. And it was kind of the usual thing where I'm sitting in my head going, fuck, I hate doing benefits. I can't stand doing benefits. My act, I don't have any jokes that do well at benefits. I just don't. There's always they always put me on, and there's a bunch of nice comics in front of me. Or even if they're not nice, they're being nice. And then I go up there and I try to be nice. And you guys all know I'm a cunt. So, I can't get that cunty tone out of my voice. And I just always end up feeling crass and ignorant. I hate doing them, right? But fortunately, this was actually a great gig, and the dude hosting the show, he was bringing up all these celebrity people, and I don't know if I should tell this story, but I'm gonna, just because I don't think that many people listen to this podcast. One of the people who went up there was Priscilla Presley. Elvis's girlfriend, wife, or whatever, and all that type of stuff. So she's up there talking about how some ridiculous amount of puppies every year get killed, at shelters and get put down, like over 1 million puppies every year. About it's this really serious moment, and, she was dressed, she looked beautiful and everything, and I'm standing back there with another couple of people, and Jesus, I really shouldn't tell this story because it involves other people. Okay, fuck it. This is what comics do in that situation. Is everyone else, all you normal people who can get married and fucking have emotions and shit, when you're getting all welled up as this icon is talking about dead puppies. We were in the back going, hey, dude, she sucked Elvis's dick. That started it. And then what happens with comedians, and then everybody has to top it. So I'm not going to say where it went from there, but believe me, 20 seconds into that conversation, I could barely stand up. So we're crying, laughing as everyone else, I can't even say in the room, it was outside in a parking lot. It's a long fucking story. And, but whatever. It ended up being this awesome fucking gig. And, because the guy who hosted the show, he did a real solid. He went up there. First of all, he's the guy who's got to switch it over from people talking about dead puppies to, hey, what's up with, what's up with these fucking hybrids, And you just feel like this asshole. He had to do that. All right? And not only does he do it, he drops the F-bomb in his first sentence, which is just, I can't even tell you what a classy thing that is to do as a comedian, because it just breaks down. It just blows the thing wide open, and he really has to take the just that reaction from people. It's like a kick to the chest. I can't explain it, and he totally took it. And I remember I was standing off stage going, what a fucking great guy. You know what I mean? If it's like, that's like a guy who you look at, you like, that guy, he wouldn't rat on you if the cops were looking for you. He wouldn't cock block you. He wouldn't steal your joke. Just a fucking total stand-up dude. You know what I mean? And I already loved the guy. But as always, I never name names on this fucking thing. All right? So anyway, so that's what we're doing. So I end up going up last, and they were a great crowd, and I made fun of people who say I rescued a dog, and they rolled with everything. I did all my stuff about having a pit bull, and I just had a great time, and I was like, isn't this great? This really makes up for that fucking twat the week before being such a fucking twat, right? So I get off stage, and people are coming up to me, oh my God, it was so funny, we were dying laughing, blah, 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 blah. Why are you 17 years in your career, and you're still playing parking lots? Who cares? You're hilarious. I'm having a great time, right? And then all of a sudden, this fucking chick comes up, right? First of all, she's got her hair in a ponytail. In the front part, looked like Cameron Diaz's hair when she put the Ben Stiller's jizz in her hair. That's what she looked like. And she comes up to me, And I was talking about, having a pit bull and how everybody crosses the street when I come up the street, and she just goes like, "Yeah, I really thought you were funny, but I have to admit, I'm really scared. I'm really scared of pit bulls." And we started having this conversation, and I was just like, "Well, I've had one now, 4 months. I really think it comes down to the owner, and basically the dog's background." She goes, "Yeah, but you never really hear about a poodle mauling somebody to death. You never hear that on the news." It's like, yeah, because they can't. Okay? That's the difference between owning a pit bull and owning a poodle. Is the capability of the animal that you have. Therefore, if you're a bad owner, your fuck-ups get magnified tenfold. And rather than some mailman wrapping some gauze around his ankle, they're trying to reattach his fucking jugular. So, I really believe that. You know what I mean? But granted, I don't know shit, okay? And I've only owned this thing for fucking 4 months, so I have no idea. But that's what my gut is telling me. But people have like this thing. No, I think they just have this thing and they just snap one day. They just snap like they're fucking crazy. And I don't know. Maybe I'm blinded by the love I have for this fucking dog, but I don't believe it. So we just keep going back and forth. And she goes, I go, no, it's a pit bull has the ability to maul somebody to death. Okay? A poodle is thinking the same shit a pit bull is thinking. I'm going to rip your fucking face off. It just can't do it. But when it's going at your ankle, it's trying to maul you to death. It is. It just can't. First of all, its fucking afro gets in the way, like when you're fighting your little brother and you just stick your hand on his forehead and he's swinging in wind. That's what happens to a poodle. If they come in with the crown of their head, which if they played in the NFL, they'd get fined for it. All right? Nobody ever talks about that, how fucking dirty those goddamn poodles are. Always coming in leading with their fucking heads. Right? But what happens, that little poofy thing in on the top gets in the way. It's a little cushion. So you kind of feel that first. You're like, ooh, is that a koozie? Oh, no, that's a poodle trying to maul me to death. And then you just boot it right in its little fucking pathetic excuse for a chest. And then it's over. Isn't that funny when you kick a little dog off you when they're trying to bite you, and then they do that shit where they still want to be tough, but they're sort of walking away as they're still growling, But they don't totally commit to walking away, but they also don't totally commit to attacking you again. And then you just look at them like, yeah, that's what I thought. That's what I thought. Couldn't take it, could you? So anyway, so we're going back and forth. So I'm not agreeing with this woman. She's not making any good points. And then right in the middle of it, she just goes, yeah, well, I'm an animal expert. I'm an animal expert. Like, out of nowhere, she just says that. I go, you're an animal expert? She goes, yeah. And then she just goes, whatever. And then she walks away. This is at a benefit. Okay, I just donated my time for fucking free. Okay, I had to figure out how to do well standing in a parking lot. Okay, I went through all of that bullshit. Me and all my friends had to go on after people, talking about dead puppies. And then this fucking twat comes up and hits me with that. And here's something for you guys, okay? Anytime anybody has to break out credits to support their argument, they lost the argument. Okay? Who the fuck says that? First of all, I'm an expert on animals. Really? Really? And you're afraid of dogs? Who's a fucking expert on animals is that goddamn Cesar Millan, the dog whisperer. He's not afraid of fucking dogs. He'll walk into a whole bunch of them, 42 of them that some old lady adopted, and they turn themselves into a fucking wild pack. He walks into the middle of them and goes, tsk, and everybody shuts the fuck up. That guy is an expert, and I have never heard him once say, I am an expert. He's never said that shit, okay? I got to tell you this right now. If I was an expert on animals and I was debating with a moron like me, I would never have to bring out that credit. What I would be doing was just throwing out all my expert knowledge. First of all, what I would do is I would feign stupidity and let me wade right into the fucking, that shit where you think the water's only 2 feet deep and all of a sudden it just drops off 100 feet. That's what the fuck I would do. I'd let you come walking in with all your, I watched Discovery Channel for 15 minutes bullshit, and then I'd hit you over the head with such fucking knowledge about pit bulls and dogs that you would come up with the conclusion of, God damn, this person's a fucking expert. But if you're standing there with your fucking jizzed in hair and you don't make one point and then you just go, I'm an expert, an animal expert, and then you go whatever, like a fucking 7th grader, and you walk away, you know what? I'm a little biased here, but I'm going to claim victory on that one. Whatever. Look at how I did it. Who gives a fuck? You know, what the fuck is it about me? I don't understand. I really don't understand. You fucking twat. I did the exact fucking thing that you guys are trying to do here. Try to get people to fucking rescue dogs. Okay? And I did it, and I got the biggest psycho of them all. I went for the pit bull. Okay? Anybody can go down and rescue a fucking chihuahua and go take them down to Taco Bell and laugh with your friends as you dress them up in a little fucking midget fur coat. You know? And you get the same fucking credit I do. Fucking animal expert. Go fuck yourself. How about that? Go fuck yourself and go rinse out your hair. All right. So anyways. Let's plow ahead here. Before we get going here, there's something I got to say. Remember last week when I basically groveled for you people to come to Ontario, the Improv in Ontario? I jinxed it, okay? I literally did that, begging you guys to come out like I was doing a fucking telethon. And then what happens? Like 2 days later, my guy calls me. We got to move the date. This thing came in. You got to do this date. Blah, blah, blah. So now the Ontario Improv gig is off. It's not totally off. It is being rescheduled. I'm actually doing a college gig. It's a long, long fucking story. But I apologize because I got probably a half a dozen emails, which is a lot for me, of people telling me, I went out and I bought tickets, so psyched to see you, so psyched you're going to be in California. I'm here to support you, Bill. You know, you rang the bell and I answered the call. Okay? And what do I get for it? I get a fucking slap in the face. I apologize to all you guys who went out and bought tickets. I feel like an asshole. And I don't know what to tell you because I'm going to be ringing the bell again when that fucking thing comes around because I don't know. Southern California. This is like the fucking Matrix out here. I don't even know if that's the right analogy. I don't know what it is. It's kind of, I got to get on one of those Latino stations out here that'll get a white guy on there, learn some Spanish or some shit. I got to do something because it ain't happening for me out here. Anyways, let's plow ahead here. All right, here's a story that somebody sent me. Here's the story that somebody sent me that I found interesting. I really found it interesting. There's, you got these bloggers here on the, bloggers. Sure, we all do. Hell, I even blogged for a while till I found out that MySpace owned them and could do whatever the fuck they wanted to with them. But anyways, these bloggers, they make fun of what celebrities wear. They say a bunch of stuff. They draw cum on their face. They do all that hilarious shit or whatever. So evidently, one of them had something called, I think, Skanks of New York. I don't fucking know what it was. But they basically trashed this supermodel. I can't call her a supermodel because I never heard of her. Her name is Liskula Cohen. Liskula. Talib Kweli. It's like me trying to say that rapper's name, and I already forgot how to say it. Kweli? I don't give a fuck, but I'm going to tell you something right now. You guys sent me all that hip-hop shit, and I'm really liking that Mos Def album from 1999. Was that the one, Black on Both Sides? I don't know. I've actually listened to 2 of the tracks on it, and at first, it was beyond me. Yeah, it was beyond what my ears could fucking handle, and now I have slowly caught up, and now I'm really starting to love it. And I only downloaded 2 of the songs. Now I'm going to go back and download the rest of the fucking album. Legally, by the way. So anyways, this Liskula Cohen, who does not look like a supermodel. I got to be honest with you. She looks like some hot mom who settled for less and is now sitting there going, you know what, I could have been a model, but instead I married the douchebag in accounting, and I have 2 kids, and I'm in a cul-de-sac, and it's not exciting. We have macaroni and cheese with toast every Wednesday. I just don't like my life. And you know where it goes from there. Then she ends up, she ends up blowing that guy who hangs out in the fucking local bar who has the cool car. Goes right back to high school. You know what I mean? She just looks for the biggest swinging dick she can find within her area. And then that's what she looks like to me. I wonder if she's going to fuck. Well, she can't fucking out me. She knows who the fuck I am. The Monday Morning Podcast, cunty. All right, so this is what happens. It says a Vogue cover girl has won a precedent-setting court battle to unmask an anonymous blogger who called her a skank on the internet. I mean, they basically paraphrase what the person said. They basically would have to say, I would have to say the first place award for the skankiest in New York City would have to go to Liscula Gentile Cohen. The blogger Anonymous wrote in one posting. The blog, since removed, ridiculed the former Australian Vogue cover girl as a 40-something who may have been hot 10 years ago when she was actually 36. So evidently, I guess they had been going off on her for a while and she got tired of it. So she went to Google and she sued to have she wanted to know who this person was who was trashing her. So somebody sent me an email and was like, can you believe this fucking so-and-so? Doesn't this come with being famous? Why don't you go cry with all your money and blah, blah. The usual shit that they say about celebrity. And I have to be honest with you guys, I can see both sides of this story. Okay, first and foremost, the fact that she was able to get Google to cave in and to give her the name of the blogger is kind of a dangerous thing where when cases like this happen, it's this little fucking whatever case, a bunch of people, you open that door, fucking run through the door and piggyback on that case, and then all of a sudden there'll be laws where you can censor what people write and you can sue people. Because, the internet right now is like the fucking Wild West back in the day. You ever think about that shit? There was no banks. There was no fucking credit cards. There was no mortgage. You just chopped down some trees with your friends and you built a square with a roof on it. Shooting Indians. There was, hang 'em high, fucking frontier justice, rape, pillage, all that type of shit. That's what the internet is basically like right now. And they're essentially, I think, with stuff like this, will eventually whittle it down. And, it's kind of hard to, some of the stuff, obviously there's horrible pornography on it. I'm not really into that shit. I wish I could stop fucking watching it. I wish someone would actually help me to stop watching it by censoring it. What a fucking pathetic loser I am. But anyways, but then you can go too far with this shit. Because I was seeing, you guys know that famous picture, that iconic photo, that guy who stood in front of the tank in Tiananmen Square back in 1990 or 89 or 90. I think it was 89, if you can believe it. It was 20 fucking years ago that happened. Most Chinese young people in their 20s, if you show them that photo, they don't even know what it is, what it refers to, because they basically over there with their fucking police state is they just erase the whole existence like in a Stalin-esque kind of way. Well, back in the day, I don't know, Joseph Stalin would, he's a paranoid psycho, and when he would off you, not only would he have you killed, he would have some dude like erase you out of all photos. Like your existence, you didn't even exist. There was no like documentation of it, and that's that's the other end of this. Little cases like this that make them scary. But having said that, on the other side, just as a performer, I actually love that piece of shit little fucking rat got dragged out into the sunlight. Okay, because even at the pathetic level that I'm on, you can't believe how bad you get fucking trashed. To the point, I never read any reviews. I don't read anything. I never watch any clips of mine on the internet. I never do any of that shit. Because people just write the most horrific shit that they can about you. And it would be hypocritical of me because I'm a comedian. And look at me, I trash people all the time. So I can't get mad at it. But I got to admit, dude, I don't want to read it. But this, she's just a fucking model. You know what I mean? And I don't know. There's like a point where you're in the public eye and someone can trash you, but they start writing shit that if you actually had it in a newspaper, you'd get sued for slander. You know what I mean? To suggest that she's 40 years old when she's only 36 might not seem like a big deal to me or anybody else, but that's a huge fucking thing in the modeling industry. And not only that, I got to tell you, these fucking industry people, they don't know shit about the internet. They don't know how to control it. They're trying to figure it out. And all it takes is one douchebag with enough fucking people behind them. And they're like, oh, this is what everybody's thinking. So this fucking twat is writing this stuff about her, and she's actually potentially fucking with her ability to get gigs. So I'm not saying that the person shouldn't be able to do that, but if you're going to do something that at somebody, at least, have the balls to put your name out there. And that's what I like, because now this person's going to get dragged out there, and hopefully people will know who the fuck she is, and she'll get to see what it feels like, because then people are going to be going off on her. Because actually it turned out that it was one of this model's friends, which I think is fucking hilarious. How awful and awkward, does she feel right now? You know what the worst thing is I bet she cried. I'm so sorry. I just been going through some things, and you're just so beautiful, and I don't know. I'm so embarrassed. They just fucking cry their way out of that shit. Well, I think that works with guys. It doesn't work with women, because because this fucking supermodel chick, she probably does that shit too. I'm sorry, I do coke. It keeps me skinny. I didn't want to have a cunt belly for the fucking bikini shot. So that shit doesn't work on her. You know what I mean? That'd be like trying to use the Force against Yoda. He knows what the fuck you're doing. So I think it's great. I hope she just fucking stares at her when this blubbering fucking coward, Coward. Did I really just use that fucking word? Whatever. Fucking little... You know what? This is the difference between what I do. Because look at me. I'm going off on this girl right now. But, I don't fucking know her. All right? This is how I'm going to justify my bull. I am so full of shit, right? This is how I'm going to justify me. I don't know her, and also my name is on this podcast. So, no need to sue me. You know who the fuck I am. And then I have shit on the internet that she could then go comment on. Right? Aren't I better than that fucking piece of shit? I don't think I am. I think, Jesus Christ, I think I'm the same person. All right, so if that made any sense, I think it's scary that this case could actually start opening a door for some major censorship in the future. But then on the other side, I love that somebody who was talking shit got caught for it. I really like that. And I just wish I could have had a video of that girl trying to fight the injunction, or whatever the hell the legal term is, realizing that Google was going to give up her name, and just her freaking the fuck out, realizing, trying to get off that track when it's headed right towards a brick wall, and she can't. And then that fucking moment when she realizes that her friend knows that she's the fucking twat who's been writing all that shit about her. And then she sits there going, what do I do? What do I do? Do I call her? What do I say? And as she's trying to work all of that bullshit out, her home phone rings. And who's on the caller ID but this chick who she called a fucking skank? You know what? I bet her friend, this fucking Liskula Cohen, was actually talking to the girl, looking for some comfort. They're writing all these horrible things about me. Why do people write these things? And that fucking twat kept his straight face going, I don't know. And then silently getting some joy out of the fact that she's torturing her. And she probably, as she comforted her, tried to figure out what part of it hurt her most. I know, it's just terrible that she called you a skank. I think that's way worse than questioning if you're 40 years old. Don't you? Or do you think the age thing hurts more? There. And basically figured out how to attack her even more. I love that she got caught. I love it. That's fucking great. All right, let's move on. This is basically, and I went on a couple of these blogger sites, and I got to admit, dude, I've gone on these some of these blogger things. Actually, that's bullshit. I have in my girlfriend looks at some of them. She's into that guy Perez Hilton, and he's a dude who draws the jizz on people's face, and that's just fucking funny. All right, it's childish. It's not mature. It's everything that makes something fucking hilarious. And And you know who the guy is. You know his name. You know he's out there. There's pictures of him on the internet, so people trash him back. I think it's a little tit for tat there. But if you're going to write all that bullshit and go under anonymous, I don't know. I think there's... all right, Bill, why don't you say the same thing 58 fucking times? We got it. All right, so anyway, so I went on one of these blogger things, and this is the type of shit that people write. They were going off on Ringo Starr. There was basically, why is Ringo Starr such a jerk? And I already love where the jumping off point of this, none of these people have ever met him. I thought somebody would have met him in an airport, and they asked him, they said, hey Ringo, can you sign my fucking T-shirt? And can you also answer me why you've been wearing the same earring for the last 40 years? That long one that's hanging down, like Kurt Russell in Big Trouble in Little China. Okay? That look was out in the 80s. That fucking long, dangling earring. You look like the bad guy in some fucking Mel Gibson movie. Or at least you have the jewelry of the bad guy. All right. So anyways, it says, Beatles member Ringo Starr posted a video today to his fans telling him that he will no longer be accepting any fan mail after October 20th because he has too much to do. And then it says, what, like counting your piles of money, sliding down a solid gold water slide, making origami, I don't know what the fuck that is or if I even said that right, origami out of $100 bills? And then it says, here's the video. Fucking moron people, right? Like, because he's rich and famous, like, he's got nothing better to do and just continue. I mean, the guy's like 70 years old. Maybe his fucking wrist hurts from writing back to people. Okay? Maybe, he's sick and he knows he's going to die and he wants to go fucking drive a Harley Davidson across the country. You have no fucking idea what's going on in this guy's life. So somebody writes, I've lost all respect for this man. How rude and disrespectful to all his fans. He should be kissing the fans' asses since us fans are the ones who made him who he is today. There's nothing I fucking hate more than when fans take credit for the fucking unbelievable talent of a star like that. Really? The fans made the Beatles the greatest fucking band ever. Like any of the fans could fucking ignore what a juggernaut that band was. Oh, yeah, Sgt. Pepper's. Yeah, fuck that. That had nothing to do with anything. If it wasn't for those fans screaming at their shows, you don't make them who they are. They make who they are. It's not like they're sitting there and then you guys all walk up to them and go, hey, you want to be famous? Get up on stage. Play whatever you want, and we're going to scream and go nuts. No, they have to fucking go into bars, and they have to get booed, and they have to have shit thrown at them. That whole Blues Brothers scene where the beer bottles get thrown at you or whatever. You got to go through fucking 20 years of that shit. Actually, those cunts, they made it when they were like 25. Whatever, 10, 15 fucking years of that crap. All right? You have to have the balls to walk away from the safe life of going to college and getting a fucking job and knowing you're going to have a paycheck. You have to step off into the fucking abyss knowing that 99.9% of you never even make enough to get out of that stinky, sweaty fucking van that you're driving around in. You take your life savings and you bet on the fucking 90-1 dog. That's what the fuck you do. All right, and then you have to create something that's so fucking great that amount of people will pay attention to it. All right? You fucking arrogant assholes. This guy's probably been answering fan mails and signing autographs for half a fucking century. He wants to put the pen down. Can he do that in his 70s? You fucking twats. Jesus Christ. And having said all that, I will be signing my DVDs and kissing babies after all of my shows. You know what? I would love to get to that level where I could just be like, yeah, listen, I'm not interacting with you motherfuckers anymore. And I'm so fucking... It's almost like he can live off the interest. When you have so much money, you can live off the interest of your money. He can live off the interest of the fan base that he has. And no matter how much it drops off, because he's not going to sell, sign 8x10s from that fucking Bangladesh concert he did with George Harrison. That's another reason why I wouldn't want to be him signing fucking autographs. You know what I mean? It's really depressing to look at a headshot of myself 10 years ago. Forget about 140 fucking years ago. You know what I mean? You know, no one ever comes up with a headshot of Ringo fucking 70 years old putting Ben Gay on his fucking bass drum foot. You know, they always got him when he's young and in his prime. And he probably sits there like, what's the matter, mate? You don't like me now? How about when I'm all wrinkled up? What a terrible fucking... Is that Ringo? Who the fuck was it? I don't know who that was. All I know is that was horrible. And if you had a fucking shred of self-esteem, you'd fucking stop this podcast right now. All right, let's get on to some videos here. This isn't a funny YouTube video. This is a fucking amazing video. Okay? And I want you guys right now to take out a pen, if you're in your cubicle, slide over your little yellow sticky things, because this is a long link. And this is a guy who basically explains the banking crisis and how we're moving into like the robot age where, you know, some of the stuff that they're coming up with, like they can like grow an ear in a petri dish now. They're talking about some lady who had like, I don't know, cancer of her esophagus, and they scraped off from some cells from her esophagus, put it in a dish, and they grew her a new fucking esophagus. And then it goes all into like, if you're into the Bionic Man and hybrid cars and cyborgs, they got a fucking clip on this thing. This is the trailer for it, where they're showing this robot that basically looks like a turtle with midget giraffe legs. A turtle on stilts, like deer legs. And it is running, sort of trotting along. And this scientist walks up and just fucking gives it a front kick as hard as you possibly could to the side, which would have tipped over any other robot. And this thing just sort of just goes with it. Like a living, breathing thing, like, whoa, kind of like goes to the side. Like, you know, like when a running back is doing the sweep and that guy dives and he hits him in his hip and it just knocks him 5 feet sideways, but he's able to regain his balance and continue moving forward. That's what the fuck this robot thing does. So this dude starts with the banks and he ends with these robots. And he starts talking about how all the different versions of man have overlapped each other. Like Neanderthals, Homo sapiens, and that type of whatever. They at one point we both existed on the earth at the same time before Homo sapiens took over. I know I'm using the wrong fucking Cro-Magnums, Neanderthals, or whatever. They overlapped and that type of shit. So what this guy is trying to suggest is that the half-robot person is going to overlap the 100% human thing. It's the fucking shit. And it's not boring either. The guy's actually, he keeps it funny. So here is the link, okay, with that really long trailer. I wanted to do that so you guys have time to jot this down because you really should watch it. It's fucking fascinating. It's www.ted, like the name Ted, TED.com/Juan_Enriquez, ENRIQUEZ_shares, SHARES, _, mind-boggling, _new, half of you don't even give a fuck at this point, I know, but some of you do, _science.html. All right? And if you get lost in all that, just go to TED.com and just, go around the website. That's what I gave you was the direct link, but you can go around the website, and I'm sure you can find it because it's, as dumb as I sounded the other day. Jesus Christ, Nia. Sorry. What? What? You're looking good. You're looking really good.
You scared me.
Oh, all right. Well, I didn't know you were in the room. Okay. Anyways. So anyways, what do you mean what's wrong with me? What's wrong with you? I'm doing a podcast here. Didn't you see the red light on outside the fucking bedroom door that said on air? I love how you just laugh at me when I do these. See, she has the advantage of seeing how crazy I look. I'm basically sitting here in my boxers, my T-shirt, and my little headphones like I'm doing some sort of pirate radio. And she literally walks in as I'm like, TED_/backspace, what's going on with the world, _.com, Hotmail. You're really dating a fucking loser. How does that feel?
You do. You look like a college kid this way. him do his own radio show, so he's like, fuck that. Yeah, just do my own thing.
All right. This thing is for me to trash people, not to get trashed. Why don't you fucking get out of here? Get out of here. All right. Thank you. What a sweetheart. Now beat it. All right. All right. Let's fucking get this. Let's get this back together here. All right. She's stumbling out of the room, laughing at me. See? You hear that? You hear her laughing? All right. Here's a really good email that I got. Somebody said, Bill, if you're looking for a sport, a new sport, I'm gradually getting back into baseball, by the way. I got to support my Red Sox because they're going through the dog days right now. All right? And, be one thing if the Red Sox were doing good, and I was just like, all right, I need to take a break from baseball, then I could actually do it. But the fact that they're not doing well right now, this is when the real fans show who the fuck they are. So I'm coming back. I'm gradually coming back. But this guy was giving me a suggestion on sports that I should watch. It said, Bill, if you're looking for a sport, you really need to delve into MMA, UFC, and make an effort to become a serious fan. I really got into it for a while, and I still really like it. I get busy and on the road, and I try to... my favorite reality show is The Ultimate Fighter. You know what I mean? Every other fucking show, you make a bad sloppy Joe and you get kicked off the show. And this one, you get your fucking ass. You literally get beaten off the show. So I really enjoy that. But anyways, said, I know you're a casual fan, but the sport really is exciting, highly technical, and it satisfies a primal urge with men to compete and beat on one another, but in a somewhat safe and sanctioned environment. I know that 50 to 75% of the fans are meatheads and strippers. And while that's annoying, you just have to block that out and focus on the sport itself. It really is the future because it's so natural and basic and doesn't require any superfluous. I don't know how to say it. How do you say that, Nia? Superfluous. There's no fucking I in that. He wrote super and then F-L-U-O-U-S. Super. Huh?
Superfluous?
Oh, good. You're dumb, too. Let's have a dumb kid. And then we'll be those parents who show up when they're going, yeah, basically your kid's a moron. No, he isn't. My kid's smart. All right. Anyways, it says it really is the future because it's so natural and basic and doesn't require any. Oh my God! I thought I went past the sentence where this word is, and I'm back to it again. Any superfluous rules and equipment. It's just man versus man with nothing but physical fighting skills, strategic acumen. Is this guy trying to fuck me up? And courage. Beautiful. All right, guys, you found a new thing that you can do to me. Send emails with big words that I can't pronounce. This is just fucking unraveling. All right, let's get to the fucking YouTube videos. This is a great, quick YouTube video that will give you a laugh. It's called Girl Gets Answer Very Wrong. Please watch this. Girl Gets Answer Very Wrong. That's what you search on YouTube. This next one, somebody sent me this, and I can't believe I forgot about this one because I stumbled upon this one before. These ones are fucking hilarious. There's one called Eddie Van Halen Shreds, and there's another one, Santana Shreds. And basically what it is, there's a bunch of, musicians go on, up-and-coming guitarists, and they watch all these great guitar gods, and they watch their clips, and then they rate them. That sucks. I give that 5 out of 10 stars or whatever. But there's certain guys like Eddie Van Halen is just the shit. You just can't fuck with him. So what this guy does, he actually plays guitar. He gets rid of the audio. He keeps the clip of Eddie Van Halen in concert. And then he plays the worst fucking guitar ever underneath it. But he does it perfectly. Where if Eddie's fingers are moving up the neck, the guy moves up the neck playing horrifically. So it really sounds like Eddie is playing the guitar horribly. But he puts it under Eddie Van Halen Shreds. So all these guys, they want to see Eddie shred, and then they just get this horrific video that not only is not Eddie shredding, but it makes him look like an asshole, and then people get all mad. Dude, you should just kill yourself. What a fucking loser. Eddie's a god. Why would you do that? It's the usual shit. You annoy somebody, it's funny. Here's another one. Funny used car ad. Ad is spelled A-D, not A-D-D. There's another good one. Harrison Ford, My Wife, My Family compilation. And here's another one. This is an Arnold Schwarzenegger one that's great. It's called Arnold is Funny. And here's the last one. I saved the best one for last. This guy has some sort of speech impediment. He gets blocked. I don't even know. I've never even heard of it. It's called Tono. Tono. And I'm actually going to call in the Opie and Anthony show. Or if you're an Opie and Anthony fan, can you please tell them to watch this video? Because this is just right up their fucking alley. This is one of those videos that I wish I could see Jim Norton watch for the first fucking time. Just to hear what the fuck he would say. All right? Tono. Tono. And, and if you are overseas, because I got a couple people in England or whatever, Sweden and shit, who listen to this thing, check out the Opie and Anthony show on online. I think it's ONA.com. Wouldn't it be great if I had the fucking thing? Just look for them. They're fucking hilarious, and they got clips. They have clips up on YouTube. Opie and Anthony show. They're hilarious. Look for the baby bird. That's a nice, simple one to get you into the show. All right. Questions. These are the questions that I'm going to wrap this up. Question, Bill, where was your first gig? My first stand-up. These are all going to be stand-up questions. Where was my first stand-up gig? I played Nick's Comedy Stop in Boston, Massachusetts on Warrenton Street. I was in a competition called Find Boston's Funniest College Student. And every night, each college had a different night, and I went up on my night. And I did okay. I didn't do great, but I did okay. And that's it. That's basically the story. Because I know I've told it a million fucking times. But I was at Nick's Comedy Stop. Hang on, I just got a note. All right. Jesus Christ. All right. Let's move on here. This is. I'm sorry, guys. I'm really killing the momentum here. Bill, did you have to play coffee shops and bars before you could get to the comedy clubs? Yes. Yes, I did. It's always been a grind to become a comedian. I know you comedians nowadays have it way worse, where we didn't have bringer shows. Some of these dudes, what they have to do here in L.A. and New York, God bless them, man, because it was not that fucking difficult. It just keeps getting harder, but the cream will rise to the top. Did I have to play coffee shops? Yes. Coffee shops, bars. I know I've told that story where I played the second story. Cleo, lay down. Cleo, lay down. Lay down. I know I played that. I told that story where I actually did a gig at a two-story bar where I was performing on the second floor of this bar that had screens for windows, and right across the street was a carnival. And you know that ride where that Viking ship just rocks back and forth? It literally looked like a cock going into, like when they do that horrific porno shot where they do the underneath shot of doggy style? That's what it looked like, and it was coming right towards the window. And I was bombing so hard that all I could hear was the people screaming on that ride. All right? There you go. There's one for you. And you know what was great was the guy who hosted the show, he actually had a lazy eye. And, he was really self-conscious about it. And he went on stage first, and he was bombing, and these two people were sitting in the front row, and they just didn't give a fuck. This guy just goes, dude! And he pointed right at his face. He goes, the fuck is wrong with your eye? And it literally just, it was really painful to watch. I mean, that guy's lazy eye was probably part of the low self-esteem that made him become a comedian, okay? And then he's like, I'm going to become a comedian. I'm going to get on stage. People are going to like me. And everything's going to, and this guy just fucking bam. And the dude had nothing. He was just like, I can't believe you just said that. It was bad. And then I went on after that. And I somehow had I had worse moments than that. Jesus, these are a lot of bad stories this week. All right, Bill, when did you first open? When did I first move up to the opening spot? Well, I was getting through college, so my first year was kind of a wash. 92, I started in March of 92, and I probably only got on stage a half dozen times, maybe 8 times, 12 at the most. And it probably was by mid-93. WBCN used to have this thing called the Comedy Riot, and I won it. It was for the up-and-coming guy. And after I won that, I remember that was the first time I got a real spot on a Tuesday night show on Jim Lauletta's show. I got a spot, and I remember I was all fucking nervous, like, because it wasn't an open mic show. I was like, oh, fuck. When I'm going to open up on an open mic show, they know I'm an open micer, but now they're expecting a professional. I was fucking unbelievably nervous, and that was a huge, huge fucking night for me. When I, just doing a spot on a Tuesday, it's like that incremental shit. That's why I flipped out when I was saying, when they say, oh, the fans made Ringo stars. You have no idea, like, incrementally, the baby steps that you take to get to a higher fucking level, and how huge little things like that. Like the first time I got $5 gas money. After doing it for a year and a half, I actually got, a piece of paper that used to represent gold that really has no fucking value. But I didn't know that then. So I was like, I can actually go out with this $5 and get the number 3 at Subway. This is fucking awesome. And, I love doing stand-up so much that I would drive to Maine from Boston for free just to get stage time, and would be driving all the way back, almost falling asleep at the wheel to go to work at 8 o'clock in the fucking morning to go unload trucks, and was just loving life. And it's one of the greatest things about, doing this job is I fucking love it. So anyways, next one. Is the worth of your career starting... Can you guys hear that fucking weed whacker? I apologize. Is the worth of your career starting to weigh out the 20 years struggle of making it to the top? Well, dude, I haven't made it to the top, but yeah, dude. It was worth it the day I got $5. The day I started doing it, it was the first fucking day when I drove home excited that I actually had the balls to get on stage. And I drove home and I was listening to I was listening to Kickstart My Heart. What a child of the 80s. Screaming the song, fucking ridiculously pumped up in my little piece of shit truck driving home. I couldn't believe it. I failed at everything else, and I always thought I always said I was going to do this and I was going to do that, and I never followed through, and I finally followed through with something, and it actually went great. And from the second I went up on stage and did it, it was worth it. And it actually helped me, in other areas, like last night, I went down to go do stand-up, and these guys were playing afterwards. Like, oh, I heard you play drums. You want to sit in? And I got all fucking nervous because, I don't do that for a living. And then I do what I always do is I just think, okay, what's going to feel worse? Going up there and bombing and sucking and making an ass out of yourself, or going home, laying in bed, not being able to go to sleep, knowing that you were a pussy in that moment when you could have gone up there. So I said, fuck it. And I went up there and it fucking went great. And plus when you get up there, there's there's always other people who are really good. In fact, everybody else was really good. So you can kind of hide behind that fact, which is another thing that makes stand-up so scary, is because everyone's looking at you the entire time. You can't blame it on the stool. All right, here's the last question, and then I'm going to start packing to go to Sweden, and I'll tell you guys all about it. I'm really going to try to do a podcast next week while I'm out there riding a bicycle around Stockholm, Sweden. How fucking great is that? There you go, dude. When you asked me, did the 20-year struggle pay off? It really wasn't a struggle, I got to tell you, because I love doing it. So, anyways, last thing. Bill, what will your new stand-up special be called, and is there any way physically possible you could save tickets for me? Oh, Jesus Christ. I didn't even read this. My brother died a few years back, and one of the connections my brother and I had was your comedy and HBO special. And whenever I listen to, all right, dude, I gotta email you back and talk to you about this stuff. This is I can't end. This is really getting sad. Okay, let's try to keep this up, right? That's one of the dangers. I just read 5 good questions in a row. I'm like, this guy's fucking great, and I didn't read the rest of them, and because then that sticks me in a position where people who didn't have a brother die are going to go, oh, that's a way to get free fucking tickets. It's brutal. People are scumbags, which is why you got to get a dog. That's why you got to get a dog, because I swear to you, they fucking love you. Isn't that right, Cleo? Huh? Of course it is. Wagging a tail. Fucking love that goddamn animal. All right, that's it. That's the podcast for this week. Thank you, everybody, for listening. Sorry about moving the date in Ontario, but everything else is a go. I am going to be at the Helium Comedy Club in Philadelphia. I don't have the dates in front of me, in September, and then I'm going to be at the Addison Improv in Dallas, Texas, and I'm going to be going to that Monday Night Football game at the Dallas Cowboys Stadium. And tell you what, I'm going to do a little thing. I'm going to try to, because I've been to the new Yankee Stadium, and I'll tell you how they compare, because the new Yankee Stadium was amazing. It just it's what the old one should have been. Like, as far, they never should have switched it up. I just wish when they redid it in the early 70s, they could have given it the facelift without, I don't know. It's a long fucking story, but still, it's no reason to charge your fans $42 for a fucking hot dog. It's the one bit of sympathy I have for Yankee fans, is they're really getting raped at that ballpark. And also, I forgot to say this. Somebody out there sent me, not only sent me the Rams-Titans Super Bowl, they actually gave me a DVD that has the two games they played prior to it. I really appreciate that. And, I got, somebody sent me another thing, was just all, hip-hop songs. And I was thinking that this podcast could be kind of a cool way that if you're looking for something and you can't fucking find it, maybe somebody has it. And I will be the interface, to use computer savvy shit. If you want to throw out your email, if there's something you're looking for, if there's a Super Bowl you missed and somebody has a copy, I don't fucking know. Why don't you use this podcast to do that? I'll throw something out there. And you know what else I forgot to talk about? Was the kegerator. Somebody remind me. Send me an email next Sunday night. Okay, this Sunday night. Say, Bill, don't forget to talk about the kegerator, which is basically a refrigerator that only holds a keg, which I did not know existed until recently. And I have to admit, I'm pretty enamored with it. All right, and that's it. That's the Monday Morning Podcast. God bless all of you, and I'll talk to you next Monday. All right.